Okay, greetings. This is Kal Kat, the Kal Katster, and this is a review of day one of Silicon Valley Comic Con Junior Year. Uh, yeah, Friday, 2019. We announced the Comic Con about a month ago, and dropped a Starship Chimera trailer, and now in time for Comic Con, did announce that it did not announce what was going on until it actually started. However, yeah, I was there. So I'll be there again on Saturday and Sunday. Tomorrow is the vendor thing, but yeah, the panel thing. But today, yeah, so there were no official discussions about Kal Kat. This is rendering this file here. This is just the whole show, and then I'll do a commentary track. I try to make them different each time. I don't think I'm going to ramble on too much for this one. It's almost a talking pointless episode for this one. Apparently, I'll jump right into the nitty gritty. It's probably not going to be on that slideshow. Uh, the main characters from Big Wow were Lord Broadvar and his friends, and the Bob Wilkinson and not John Stanley. Yeah, Bob Wilkinson. It's the people that replaced John Stanley. Yeah, I think I got that right. The horror hosts, the creature features people. They were the main reason to go to Big Wow back in the day. Well, apparently last year they were accosted or kicked out by, at the end of the show, by a guy who went to their shows and apparently figured out how to take what he said was the copyright, but he meant trademark of the name creature features from them, so that they could just monopolize on the products. I'm assuming this happens quite a lot at conventions, that people just run in and take their shit. Which is why they get all mad sometimes if you film their pictures and stuff. This is really bizarre. Apparently, yeah, he took over and he was doing the horror host thing in the very back. That's the version of creature features in the very back. Apparently, the TV station 36, which was running for a little while the new creature features until 2017, dropped the original people or the new people in favor of this guy to appear on coffee on the public access coffee channel. That's formerly TV20, I believe. Yeah, so what's odd about this is I looked it up afterward and during. Well, what's out? What the main thing is this guy's not very good. He's kind of creepy, actually. I'm not going to name names here, but you can read up on the story and discover all about Mr. Curry, who apparently did this stuff. I talked to him. He's got like a fake eye patch thing and all that stuff. He was creepy. It wasn't like creepy in a good way, though. He was creepy in a creepy way. There was a lady that walked by, and he made a disparaging remark, commenting on her breasts. I said, "What kind of vendor guy?" But yeah, he totally did, and she's like, "Oh," it's like, I hope one of those women is a feminist tomorrow and gives him a dirty look or says something. Anyway, I wanted to complain, but apparently, yeah, I didn't, because you can't apparently go to anybody there. They won't listen to you. Great. So the whole costume consent thing doesn't apply to vendors, apparently. That's nice to know. Yeah. Yeah, if a vendor acts like a jerk, what do you do? Yeah. But yeah, this new guy that's doing creature features, you can choose to go to his table or not, but he doesn't have half the stuff the old guys did. He's not nearly as competent with the stuff that's out there, and he's not in the know. He doesn't know people like Robert Burl. If you don't know who Robert Burl is, then in your creature features, yeah, you should know who that is. Wilkinson's website, the John Stanley devotional website, does not like this guy. I looked it up. They've been in a copyright battle. Well, not copyright, trademark battle. I looked up the trademark story. I did study trademarks and copyright law in one semester, San Jose State, in my journalism class. And I have determined that this guy doesn't have a leg to stand on. They should probably countersue for whatever settlement was, because the term creature features cannot be copyrighted or trademarked. There shouldn't even be a trademark from 1987 by the Besham Group, the Besham Macmillan Group. Even they couldn't copyright it. The only trademark that should exist is the one from the 70s with Channel 2, KTVU Channel 2, now owned by Fox. Fox 2. But then it was KTVU. I doubt Fox 2 cares. But they have better lawyers. So my suggestion of the original creature feature people is get in contact with Fox Television and about the affiliate, Channel 2, and see if they can't just, get some connections working for them to get their trademark and their booths back at the convention. Because they totally can. There's, like I mentioned to the current hosts of the hosts from last year, who apparently lost their show, either changed the name or countersued. And it still applies. They don't own that trademark. I'm not saying that, I'm not a lawyer, but I'm saying that from the basic law class, that'd be what you do. Say, okay, this can't be trademarked by us or them, and then you just name your version of it the real creature features. What's the other guy going to do? And then you go to the convention. You have your booth next to theirs. Say, hey, this is the real one. Yours is the phony baloney, shystery one. Your fraudstery one. But I don't have any pony in that race. I do know the other guys, but I don't have any pony in the race. We're not going to name names. But Blood Rob was one of the fans, or host fans, and I have had him on my channel twice. So that was cool. But and vice versa. He was going to the comic things. Yeah, he liked this little known Kal Kat channel just because it was quirky. So he's like, yeah, you and your friends could. Years ago, there was a Time Tunnel toy show and they were there, and my friend Tim and I walked into frame when they were doing the filming. You can see more of him than me, which is funny. But yeah, then later on, a big deal out of it. And later on, we had Wilkinson and Robert Burl doing the No Peace Monster thing, which that guy's now going to claim that he knows what that is, but he doesn't. The new guy does not know enough to be the guy, the curator of the show. His stuff is apparently not nearly as good. I haven't really watched it, so like I said, don't have any pony in the race. Just saying that, they have a leg to stand on. Get a better lawyer. Sue, countersue. Say there shouldn't be there's no trademark on this. It would be like trademarking, like Kleenex. The term Kleenex. Kleenex is a company, but everybody calls every tissue Kleenex. So even if it isn't, so it would be like that. It would be like trademarking baseball. Not as Major League Baseball, but just the term baseball. You can technically do that. Major League Baseball, if you said Major League Baseball, MLB, you'd get. Yeah, that's owned. That's a trademark. but just the term baseball, or the term soccer, the term amusement park. It just means creature feature. It just means horror movie. You can't copyright a horror movie. What? So I would just say to them, you can't copyright that. No, no, you can't. So it's kind of a talking pointless, but it isn't really because it's on the other channel. But yeah, yeah. So if if you're at the convention this week and you've seen the creature guy, you know it's not the real guy, and he doesn't have half the merch. So even if he's creepy, well, yeah, well, a lot of them are. There was another guy at another panel that was that asked a woman her age. I was like, do that. I didn't say anything, but I was like, because she asked about the Sitar character from that Tom Cruise movie, and she knew that he wasn't that Hellboy. It was somebody else. But yeah, it's like he wanted to know how old she was. Yeah, you don't ask a woman her age. A vendor said that. I won't say who. Uh, but yeah, yeah. Can vendors be? I guess vendors are allowed to be kind of obnoxious, but then they just won't sell anything. This guy wasn't. Yeah, features. On the website, Wilkinson's website, he was annoyed at this whole thing, and he wrote a big essay, if you want to read it, 2017, saying it was going on, 17 and 18. This is my junior year here at the convention, so they were there last year, so this apparently happened in the past year, that they took the copyright, and really shouldn't have been able to. The other guys should be there this year. They should just be there with their own booth. This guy apparently snuck in and found a way to kick them out of the convention. Well, they could turn around and kick him out of the convention. I'm not gonna, because I don't have that kind of power. But I'm not gonna do that. But I'm sure if he keeps up his creepy sleazery, he won't sell anything at least. Possibly get his own self kicked out. Because because apparently he also has a new show where he named the skull with a candle on it after Bob Wilkinson. Oh yeah, so or John, Bob or John. I think I'm mixing these characters up. He named it after that dead one from years ago. Yeah, that's what it is. So yeah, I've been saying Wilkinson. I meant Bob Wilkinson as the dead guy, and John Stanley's the living guy, right? Yeah, mixing those up. Yeah, Wilkinson was the old guy from my youth, and the other one's from the current. Yeah. So the one guy, he named the candle guy after the dead guy, which is messed up. Um, the original horror host. I did point out to him that horror hosting is not exactly very profitable, but I did not reveal who I actually was. He looked it up and be like, "Wait a second, oh shit, this Kal Kat guy. He's one of them. Oh, get him. Oh, no, I'm not a horror host. No, I never said I was, but I did do two Halloween specials, in which it crossed over with Lord Blood Rock, one of the horror hosts. Yeah, so I did one with Bucket of Blood, and then another one with with the Haunted Wine Country last year. I've got a bunch of his. Fortunately, his stuff was not for sale this year because this other guy took over. But I have a library of at least 5 or 6 more of his horror movies from the original guys, the original Wilkinson and yeah, John Stanley's still alive. Wilkinson. Okay, so yeah, John Stanley was the one that I meant was still alive. So it was probably confusing because I was saying Wilkinson. Oh my God, yeah, I think they're both well, and the other guy. There's a bunch of other drama on the web you can read about, but Curry is the guy. I think guy that stole the thing. His name is Curry. Yeah, so Bob Wilkinson and then John Stanley, and Stanley's the one that I do. And then you got Bob Burrell, who he doesn't know at all, so he should. But he doesn't. Yeah, so I can give him the time of day. Well, if these other guys want a horror show venue, they can continue to do their horror show and call it Creature Features, because guess what? That's not really a trade. Yeah, you guys can totally call your version of it that and have a YouTube channel and everything. Apparently, this other guy tried to get them off, kicked out of the convention, and also succeeded in some of it. Also succeeded in closing a Vimeo account. They shouldn't be able to close their YouTube, though. YouTube shouldn't care. Um, yeah, they're independent horror host channels, and they shouldn't be able to do that with their YouTube. So yes, I have a vast library of horror host things. I could still do some other videos in honor of the original and real Creature Features. Yes, as opposed to the made-up, like, Phony Baloney one that now exists. And maybe the other show would have gone off the air anyway, because yeah, has been Rockstar and his friend in the house. It was cool that it was the original Wilkinson house, though. That was kind of neat. This new guy apparently like stole their idea, I guess. Oh look, the copyright's gone. I'll steal their idea from '87. Why? It's kind of baffling that they would do that. Anyway, so yeah, I don't know. That's all this is about, really. There was other stuff at the convention, like there was a crazy crazy man. Well, there were two crazy men. There was a crazy man, a couple of crazy like Latin men, and then there was another crazy Latin man. And then he turned to the other two people next to me, who were two sort of mixed white. One lady was white. I think the husband might have not been, might have been Mexican. And says, "Those white people are crazy. White people are crazy." He kept saying it over and over again. It's like, and then as he walked away and he was out of earshot, "You're not loco in the cabeza." I don't think so. The guys are like, "I totally understand." He's like, "Yeah, he was speaking English." Sometimes white people are crazy, as I texted John Mark Scards, of course. Not Stanley. Mark Scards. Yeah, so, okay. Alright, let's go back to or let's go back and get your channel back. It's like, sure. It's not like the only revenue you'd lose is like DVD sales, but so what? Like, I think there's room for, like John Stanley said in this, there's room for other anybody to use that. If you're hosting horror movies, it's like, so it's like, why is that? That's kind of cool that you're hosting horror movies, but that's all it is. I don't really do that on my channel. I sort of review things and then play them later, because the material from the old movies is still copyrighted, so I can't show you visuals. We talk about stuff like Halloween. Yeah, I couldn't show any of Haunted Wine Country because that was current. So I had to like just tell you about it. It was really bad, boring movie. It was just awful. But yeah, but Buckets of Blood was kind of fun. Most notably because they kept mentioning Buckets of Blood but never showing it. It was from the creator of the original '60s Little Shop of Horrors that the '80s one was based on. So that was Bucket of Blood. That was interesting. With this, there was a guy that would make clay mannequin sculptures out of the dead. How do you get that much clay? And call them stuff like murdered man, murdered man's wife. Yeah, they should have figured that out. You know? Yeah, he's clearly insane. They were mocking the art community at the time, the Bohemian art community of the '60s. So these guys are crazy. See this one here, he's psycho. And also, that was one thing the white guys said. The white guys are psycho. I don't know what he's talking about. He's on the pipe. Also, there was a lady, I went to San Jose State, and there was a lady that was schizophrenic because she was talking to the wall. in the dining commons thing and screaming at somebody that was not there. Maybe it was the same lady from the BART train months ago, and yeah, she was insane. And also, the Red Angel is a building. That's what they call the art building. So yeah. So anyway, so yeah. And also, there's a sort of a Red Angel sculpture at the convention center, but that was built later. So, there's also one over by the art museum. I think it's still there. They sort of painted over it. It's kind of doing this. Anyway, I'm not gonna make this very long. Anyway, so yeah, the comic convention. Yeah, the sure. Oh, some con swag on the wall over there. So here we got some Terry Hilton artwork and some other people, and we got Kel Mitchell. There it is, the Black Wonder Woman and Kel Mitchell. And actually, he kind of looks like he did in the '90s. He hasn't really aged. It's weird. It kind of does. Yeah. So from Good Burger. So there you go. Yeah. So yeah, Nickelodeon days. Yeah. Silicon Valley Comic Con. So, yeah. Day two was more people. There was more of a line con. I'll talk about what actually isn't so much in the thing because it's the slideshow already. Yeah, there was no more continuation of the creature feature guy. I don't think he was there anymore. I think somebody had him taken booted out. It wasn't me, of course. I don't know anything about it. Yeah, it was totally not. I had nothing whatsoever. Well, he was being sleazy to women, so they probably got him booted. I had nothing to do with that. But yeah, I heard tale though, as they were on their way out. But yeah, that'll get kicked out. The other stuff won't because they don't care if you're a fraudulent charlatan selling wares. Also, probably he didn't make any money because even with the thousands more, it seemed to be almost 10,000 more people. Maybe it wasn't that many, but it sure seemed like it. Yeah, they're not going to care either way who the creature feature person is. It's just not a big ticket thing. They're not going to sell very many copies of that stuff. It's very niche and niche, and it being very niche, they just he just won't make any money. So, well, now he owns a trademark. Actually, he doesn't. There were other people, the Disney Fox person, some other people discussing trademarks in line, and because I was in line, and they're all, oh yeah, so like okay, if the show was Fox, Fox KTVU, then didn't know much about the show, but if it's Fox KTVU, we don't do Disney, right? So, and yeah, Pixar and Disney. There was a lady that also knew Pixar and Disney. And, well, yeah, if the show was owned by Fox KTVU, it's likely that actually the rights are owned by Disney now, that Fox bought it. So technically, the creature feature guy that currently runs it should go to Fox, should go to Disney and say that John Stanley, the surviving guy, should go to Disney and say, Disney lawyers, you guys are more powerful than this charlatan guy. Can you just buy up the rights to creature features from him? Because you're Disney. And they probably would if they could think they'd make some money out of it. So there's your plan. Go to Disneyland. Go to Disney Corporate, actually. Disney Corporate. ABC. Disney Corporate. And say, all right, yeah, we want to buy up. Not CBS. That's not Paramount. It's a different group. It's not Nickelodeon and Paramount either. Yeah, go to Disney and say, okay, we want those rights, and yeah, they could pay him a tidy sum, and his copyright will no longer be there, and they'll have their copyright back. I'm sure they could do that if they really wanted to. Maybe he doesn't care at this point. He's just like, I'm just done with this. I don't want to. I don't want to stop it. It's not like, yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I don't know other than, yeah, they didn't know what the show was either. The people that I saw, but they were like, oh, well, we've never heard of that, but okay. It's just like, yeah, but yeah, so yeah, but he didn't. Nobody shut him down. He was probably still there. I probably just didn't see him. Anyway, so yeah, Line Con. I got in Line Con, but only because I could, not because I needed to be. It was bizarre. So I got to listen to all the people in Line Con. It was funny at first, but then after 35 minutes, I was like, why the hell am I in Line Con? I don't need to be in Line Con. I can go right in. And I did after lunch. After lunch at the place, the original Joe's. It was a hamburger, and it was okay. It wasn't worth $25. It was okay. Um, Although there was a waiter talking to another waiter and a patron at the bar. There was a bar next to the kitchen. And the kitchen and the bar, and there was a table next to the bar and the kitchen. And the waiter obviously was telling a tall tale about a counterfeit $1 million bill that somebody gave to the restaurant, and $1 million bill. Not 100, which would be typical, but a million. And wondered how much the other guy wondered how much the restaurant actually paid the guy. Give him a million. I would think that would be an immediate red flag to the manager. That okay, this guy's full of shit. This isn't really $1 million. It can't be. It's not possible. We're not giving you money for this. Oh. They would immediately call like the security people or manager. They said, yeah, no, you're not going to walk out of here with. No, that's silly. If only he had told the story that it was 100. Well, that would have made sense. Okay, he's got 100. Costs about $25 for anything in there, even the cheap side orders. So yeah, you got to go in there and like 100 would make sense. That story doesn't make sense because you kept making it bigger. But nobody, it wasn't current. Somebody did this a long time ago. Anyway, uh, I heard similar wives' tales in when doing other retail. Yes, I was a server a couple of times, dishwasher a couple of times, in other places. I won't name them. McDonald's, Dave and Buster's, Spartan Dining Commons, a couple of times of Spartan Dining Commons. Let's see what else. McDonald's. I think I said that. Yeah. Baker Square Pie Place. And only once or twice did somebody bring in a funny money bill, and that was to the management. The manager brought it in. So this is a funny fake bill. Make sure that you check it to see whether it's real or not. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, we did that. So yeah, no funny money got through. But Monopoly money. There you go. Anyway, so that's yeah. There's not really much to talk about with the other thing. The two church people that came up excitedly, dressed as the two aliens from Galaxy Quest, and it was in the Captain Kirk outfit. And they're all, "Oh, thank you, Commander! You saved us, Commander Oz." Galaxy Quest. It's funny. It's great. Oh. Yeah, I'll be Kirk again tomorrow with a slightly different Kirk because I've been all different Kirks this time. Yeah, the easier, lighter Kirk, lighter shirt Kirk, and I was briefly Kitty Key for about an hour or so. I was the red Kitty Key, the Ronin one, which is also similar to the Street Fighter character and the other Red Scroll character. Somebody thought it was the red Ronin Knight guy. Somebody actually recognized it, and just like back in the day, back in the day when I saw the Johnny Bravo guy who was miffed that no one recognized Johnny Bravo way back at Baycon. I think it was 2011 or 2012. It was 2011, and I was like, oh, that's Johnny Bravo, and he's all, finally somebody recognized my costume. Like, yeah, of course I recognize Johnny Bravo. It's something like what I would write. Yeah, there's something wrong with this though. They don't recognize it. I said, well, what does the voice sound like? And he's all like, oh, just do Johnny Bravo. What is it? I was like, yeah, that's the problem. He's got to sound like Elvis Presley. So, oh, thank you very much, Elvis Presley. Wah, wah. He's all wet. That's pretty good. Hey, are you sure you don't work for that show? No, I don't. I just watched an awful lot of Johnny Bravo back then. Um, but I did get to say to Kel Mitchell, "Welcome to the Good Book. Let me take you on up." So that was pretty good. The guy before me did it, so it wasn't. I was repeating him. Yeah, all that cast. Yes. There should have been other all that people there, and I got the Borden back from the Power Ranger girl who wasn't. Yeah, they're like $40 for an autograph. And also somebody before the convention was complaining about Lou Ferrigno. There was almost nobody at his booth, so it was kind of sad. Aw, and he was just there, just like 2 or 3 people signing. It's kind of messed up. Aw, but yeah. So I could have walked right up to Lou Ferrigno, but I didn't. I just didn't. The original Hulk from the '80s. But I didn't. I didn't see Steve Austin, Stone Cold Steve Austin, from not the Bionic Man. I remember another Steve Austin called the Bionic Man from the '70s. Wasn't him. He's dead. Lee Majors, I get that. So, but no, this was Stone Cold Steve Austin from WWE. All I saw of that show was the house theater filled up so quickly because there were thousands, hundreds, 10,000 maybe. That I couldn't get in. So so there was a TV broadcasting of what was going on outside. They were showing like clips from WWE. That's later. I remember he was WWF back in the day. So, he was they would dump the water on him and stuff because he's stone cold. In the clip, not in the show, but in the clip in the episode. Also, Adam Savage was also sold out. A packed house, couldn't get in there. But they put a TV so you could see what he was talking about. Kind of what he's talking about last time. Yeah, it wasn't terribly different. Tomorrow, mostly panels. Tomorrow's mostly going to be panels. Yeah, so there's my, yeah. So the panel that I went to was yesterday. I didn't mention the space and science together with didn't say much about that. It was, yeah. So 2 space people, physicists, rocket scientists, 2 sci-fi people from Star Wars. A Greedo guy that played Greedo, he shot first, and no, actually he didn't. Han shot first. Han shot first. That's right. That was the joke. And he was saying that when he Greedo first went to Star Wars, this is yesterday, first went to Star Wars, the movie, he was going to be in the movie, he was going to be an alien. He just said the alien, say Greedo even. Walks in there and gets a cup of coffee from this guy that's just sitting there, with a bearded dude. He's sitting there, and he's sipping coffee with him, and he's all, so when is George gonna show up so I can do my part and stuff? And he says, the guy goes, I'm George Lucas. He's like, oh, oops. Oh, but I didn't see anything bad. George Lucas is all, oh, okay. No, you didn't. You're fine. And then he went and did the part. So so George Lucas was being incognito, playing the coffee gopher. So it's pretty funny. So it wasn't the coffee boy. Nope, he was the director. But yeah, yeah, so that was funny. So yeah, I also heard episode 9 is going to be good. There's some buzz on that one. And the Star Wars 501st people were back, and a bunch of the other droid people and stuff were back. So. clearly they know something. So yeah, episode 9 is not going to suck. I liked episode 8, but episode 9 is going to be good. And despite the internet rumors about the Galaxy's Edge being vacant, they're basically lying. Yeah, from the buzz that I got here at the convention is Galaxy's Edge is not vacant. You've heard that rumor. People are all like, no, there's actually people there. It's just that these weird troll people are like going there during the day, during the week when school's not out, and they were over there. It's like, no, during the summer when school was out, it was packed, so there were people there. So it was not vacant. That was weird that they were doing that. They probably got in there at like 6 or something, and nobody was in there yet. Or yeah. So there were people there. They're not. Yeah. Although they should do more stuff for the original trilogy, you can understand why they didn't release so much, because newer stuff is more interesting. But maybe they have that other stuff on the other side of the park. But yeah, we have a lot of new Star Trek coming out as well, so they had a lot of Kirks. They didn't quite get the kitty key thing. That's somebody named Hadrian. It's a cool name. So it's like Old England. It's Hadrian. Hadrian's Wall was a lady. She was one of the staff people. Hadrian. That's interesting. Anyway, wasn't that the original name of England back in the day? Yeah, that's pretty much it for the preview thing. Let's go on to the slideshow. Greetings, this is Glenn Cowpoke. At the 3rd Comic-Con convention. Yep, I was at the convention, and this is what I had under my Star Trek outfit this time. This here is one of them old Jung Shuan undershirts. Now, I done wired it to keep from chafing my... Anyway, so so yeah, it's a little about a Comic-Con. This is a recap of day 3 while I'm rendering the slideshow, and I'll comment on it. I don't think I'll be... Well, maybe I'll comment on it tonight, but it is late, so I won't. We'll see. Do commentary track on that. There isn't much to say about the background of this one. There was a NASA panel, Mars, going to Mars. There was a NASA panel on going to the moon first, and then there was another one going to Mars. So there was a theme. I did not see the Terminator panel, but after the show, I did see some people dressed like Terminator people, including Arnie. The guy was about the same size as Arnold Schwarzenegger, but he wasn't. He was trying to play him really well in character, so at the bus stop on the way out there, kind of staring around, all evil and stuff, because he's a cyborg. Probably because I rang the light bell, and then he rang the light bell. I said, "She does do it twice," and he's all. But it's like, what? But he's in character, so yeah, it was funny. And then later on, he's all turn. Obviously, it wasn't Arnie, because Arnie's like 80, and the Governator, he would be quite friendly and cordial to the cast. Arnold Schwarzenegger. I didn't see him though at the convention. Although it was a big Terminator panel thing apparently going on, but I missed it entirely because I went to lunch. I went to the Burritozilla and I had a burrito. It was good, but it made me immediately have to go to the bathroom upon reaching the con, so I'm not sure how good it actually was. Yeah. I mean, it was good tasting, but apparently sort of like a sluice. I also got plenty of water, which meant I had to pee a lot. And at the end of the convention, after going through the art gallery like for over an hour, they were kicking us all out. So it's one of the stragglers, and they caught me at the exit. Said and this lady was all, "You can't go back in there because we're closing." And I said, "Well, I have to take a pee." She said, "Nope, you can't go back in there." Well, they won't even let me take a pee. Bust a slash. I was all commenting on that at the end, but yeah, and that's what I meant the Terminator people out in front, who had also been kicked out. Maybe they were just annoyed they'd been kicked out. Yeah, well, it clearly wasn't him. Arnold Schwarzenegger, but he's about the same height. Actually, Arnold Schwarzenegger in the movies, they make him look all tall, like he's like 7 feet or something. He's about 6 feet. He's about 5'11", 6 feet. As he gets older, he is tall, but he's not ridiculously giant. He's tall. Stallone's not that tall either. Um, they put him in platform shoes and make him powerful looking, but he's just a little taller, just a little bit. He's 6 feet. I mean, 6 feet is something, but you know, now Tom Cruise, he's really short. He's short. So yeah, he wasn't there. Yeah, Patrick Stewart is allegedly 5'10", having met him years ago when he was in his mid-40s and I was only in my teens, and I was just about 5'6" or 7" at that point. He was shorter than me, so yeah, that's how tall he is, 5'7" or so. But I'm 5'10" in my shoes, socks, so in my socks. Yeah, he's under 5'7". Patrick Stewart. He was not there this time. Now I'm going to show you the con swag, and pretty much this is over in terms of the discussion. I did happen by as Clint, a different Star Trek outfit than the other guy as Clint, and I happened by the asshole dude that took over Creature Features, of which he was harassing some other girl because he's a skeezy, sleazy guy with a fake like eye patch thing, ripping off something. Yeah, he's sleazy. He's not like the other people were at all. John Stanley does not approve. So that's what I said. John Stanley does not approve of your rip-off of his show. Then I kept walking. So he couldn't tell who said it, but he probably just thought, what? Oh, shit. Yeah, but the other guys that were the creature feature people had some representatives there as other people, so they were there. They weren't kicked out. They were just representing something else. So, yeah, one of them was in the art gallery. Yeah, and those two Galaxy Quest people came by again, and it was revealed that they were in fact two people from the church. Yeah, it was Lone Arrows. Yeah, so let me show you some of my con swag. Con swag. Oh, yeah, con swag. Okay, here we go. Put it up on that there wall. That's all the uniforms. And that's the con swag we got. Badass girl. All of the art people will now be famous because they're the back wall of the Kal Kat show. Here they are. Yeah, so including that there guy from the Muppet Babies and Tom and Jerry, that there guy from G.I. Joe and Robotech comic books, right there, and that we've seen before. And this here feller, he's got that there Wonder Woman lady, and down there we got Captain Marvel, the Black Wonder Woman lady. Doesn't look like the ESL teacher lady. I told him that. I went in there and I was all, it's funny is that the Black Wonder Woman looks like her former ESL teacher from the church, and he's like, "Oh, cool! Do you want to buy another one of those and send it to her?" I was like, "No, no, I almost out of money." Uh, uh, yeah, oh, cool. But there's Keely Mitchell from yep, back from the Nick days. There he is. Yeah, from all that. Well, that's from the Good Burger movie. But yeah. So yeah, and there's Star Trek Stitch. Yeah. So and there's a Star Trek hat and the Silicon Valley Comic Con. I hope I didn't say Phantom Man. I meant Silicon Valley Comic Con. A shirt. Comic Con shirt here. Yep. So, a hat.
Yes, yeah, the ending of the con video retrospective was kind of missing an ending because there really kind of wasn't one. Yeah, yeah, so there was a guy dressed like Arnold Schwarzenegger, I mentioned that. And then, yeah, so even though we said, oh, Jason Momoa's going to be there, and Anson Mount's going to be there, and Arnold is going to be there, all that. Those people were there, you just couldn't film them. Yeah, so we were not there. They were actually doing a live filmings of broadcasts of all of the main star panels, and Kal Kat show being, well, not all that celebrity. Yeah, we weren't there for those. So we had to wander around the convention doing things where we could actually film. So that's what I did. So yeah, so this is just a little closing thing. Yeah, it was cool. Yeah, it was good. Yeah, so well, I didn't actually saw part of the Adam Savage panel. Saw the Mars. Yeah, they talked quite a lot about Mars and Artemis Project and the Mars base and all that stuff, which is essentially the Alus base from Robotech, certainly. Constructed on the moon. And a number of other things. Yeah, that's in the south on the moon, South Pole. At least according to the 2006 Shadow Chronicles. Yeah. Anyway, so the coincidence got that right. Yeah, so Robotech / G.I. Joe animation still die and other things were there. The 501st was there. The people that make this here hat and this thing were there. So there were a bunch of people. They weren't sponsors, so we just filmed them. So no, we don't have sponsors, but I put all the stuff up on the wall, and so yeah, yeah, we don't have sponsors, and yes, the guy that swiped creature features was back, still being creepy. But not in a good way. So, yes, and according to John Stanley website, he doesn't approve of that guy. So, yeah, if you want to read all about that, you can go there and see their drama. I got no dog in the race, or no pony in the race either. So, I don't know, but I'm not a horror host. Kal Kat Show reviews everything, but not really that so much. Other people's blogs, nah. Very rare that we would do that. Usually it would be a Star Trek story. Anyway, so that's it. Silicon Valley Comic Con 2019. A shot of my